Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here. Welcome back. It's been a while for What the Deck. It's time for us to cover anti-ship missile launchers for the ground. It's been a long time coming. The DLC is finally here, and it's time we go over some very new units. As I had said before, we probably wouldn't cover anything new for a long time, and things are subject to change. But since these are new, we'll go over these and explain exactly how they work, and we'll cover pretty much everything since it's a very small category for everyone. Usually I cover solely the Americans just to kind of keep it very basic and show you, again, this isn't a advanced tutorial on anything. This is just to basically go over the very simple statistics of these vehicles. And again, if you're watching this video sometime in the future, remember that these points, accuracy, everything you see here on the stat screen is subject to change, as well as the availability and also the types of vehicles. Right now there's currently 6, 3 for Pact, 3 for NATO, but again, that is subject to change. So let's first go over Blue 4 anti-ship launchers. Alright, so these are ASMs. Here you have the Bear-Lit Exocet, which obviously fires the Exocet missile. It is a 70-point unit, radar guided ×4. Now, since these are radar guided, they could be perfect targets for seed aircraft. And this one here seems to be fairly new. By the way, it was made in 1988. One of the most advanced vehicles in the game is made in 1994, that previous launcher you saw there. So you'll be very familiar with some of these missiles, the Exocet for instance, but what is really important about these ASMs is that they can be A, fired from an island, B, can be easily rearmed with the FOB or any type of supply vehicle that you have nearby, and that they only carry just the weapons themselves, so they're basically very vulnerable other than firing at ships. So those are some things you're going to have to keep in mind. For fun purposes, we will call this the Bear. Yeah, that's right, the Bearlet. Or we could call it the Bear Jet, because it's going to be firing rockets out the ass here as it carries 4 radar-guided missiles. These are 7,000 meters, too. Still not the best. The Soviet Sovremeny still carries a missile that is much more capable of hitting ships at a further range, but 70% accuracy at 7,000 meters when the enemy might not expect it is very effective. Not to mention this could probably take out landing craft as well, so if you're very desperate to stop a naval landing, this could be a real godsend here. Keep in mind, these are not able to take out helicopters or airplanes. These are strictly ASMs. Though they can engage ground units, they may even be able to take out a T-72 or a T-80 or whatever, and so that's a possibility. I've not even tried these units yet, but I'm kind of reviewing these with you at the same time. 80 AP power on these as well for HE for non-armored targets, so keep that in mind. We'll move up to the MOBA now. Oh, what is this? Scania. Ooh, it's a right-hand drive too. A Swedish vehicle here, the Scania here. I drive one of those trucks in Euro Truck Simulator. They're really fun. Check out our streams, by the way, twitch.tv/RatPack. We even live stream some Wargame as well, so there's a good place to learn. This outranges that previous unit, the Bear Jet, by 700 meters with a whopping 7,700, though only 50% accuracy. 4 radar-guided heat, fire, and forget stationary ship weapons. Keep in mind that's very important, as we learned earlier what each one of these means. It's extremely important to keep those in mind. Also, keep in mind that for these vehicles, they seem to be very, very similar, even for Pact. Their road speed and their off-road speeds are nearly similar. The only thing that will really change here is their size. You'll have medium or big, and you'll have speed, which will either be 65 or I believe 65. It looks like all these can do 65. So the autonomy of all 3 of these vehicles is the same. The only thing that's different is the weapons that they carry. So there you go. So this next weapon, the Sea Buster, which we'll call the Stromby Buster, why not, right? Carries a total of 6 anti-ship, 7,700 meters, 85 points, very affordable, 50% accuracy. But again, you can scare the enemy off with one of these types of units. They're all right-hand drive too, which is strange because a lot of these NATO vehicles are usually left-hand drive. So I'm just saying that because the Swedes drive on the right side of the road, on the left side of the car. So anyway, who cares? So this again is a nice upgrade from the previous unit, as it carries more. It's really just kind of a bigger vehicle in that sense. Carries more. Does the same speed as the previous for 15 more points, carries 2 additional missiles from 4 to 6. And reload times are all the same. Years created are different too, so if you're thinking of restricting the battle that way somehow, that's the difference for these. So yeah, wow, real impressive models on these two. Really interesting. Again, radar-guided missiles for all 3 of these, so that is a fine target for seed aircraft, and it could be a real surprise to take out the enemy launchers. But again, it is advisable to leave these off until the ships are more well within range of these missile launchers. If they see these missile launchers starting to target and begin to fire, and they fire, you may only get off 1 missile before they start to retreat. With 50% accuracy, 2 or 3 of these together could take down the enemy completely. So keep in mind when you're building your decks, look at that availability and look at the veterancy as well. Those are going to be very important. Let's move it over now to the Red 4 side. Again, by the way, I'm a little bit of an expert on these. I'm not completely dumb, as we've been all patrolling the forums to read exactly about what these weapons are and what they do. So, we have a little bit of experience in simulation for them, but not actually in-game. All right, so this is the BAL, or the BALA. By the way, we should call that previous missile, or previous launcher here, the MOBA. We should call that the Dota 2, and the Stromby Buster, and your Bear Jet. Coming up next, we've got the BALA. That's right. The BALA is a ×8 radar-guided missile launcher. Incredible accuracy on this, 85%. That's nearly unheard of with 80% AP power. Anything that gets close to the ball is going down. This was made in 1994, by the way, which is one of the highest years that I've seen so far in the game. There may be more higher in terms of... wow, this thing actually must be so accurate because of the recreation room. You see troops go in there to play pool and some arcade games. When they come out, they're so refreshed, all they have to do is come out to the truck and hit a button. Pretty sure that's true. No, there's got to be some sort of radar-guided area inside there. It's a targeting room, obviously, and so this is a real serious weapon platform. This fires, by the way, the KH-31A, which is an SSM, or a surface-to-sea missile, or, yeah, something like that, surface-to-ship missile. But anyway, it fires 8 of those, and again, it's heat, fire and forget stationary ships. So these cannot fire on the move, by the way, so far of what we've seen. This is big and bad when it comes to size and optics. And really no armor, just one in the front. Anything could take this down. A Humvee with a 50 cal on top of it could annihilate this thing completely. So be very careful when using it. But instead of firing 6, this fires 8 missiles. 5,600 meters, again, is very small, but with that kind of accuracy, anything that gets close to this is going to be ripped apart. And 100 points is not bad to spend when it comes to a naval battle. You could probably buy 5 of these for the price of 1 silver mini, and so it's a good investment for that kind of firepower. Let's go on to the KRK, or rubs you the wrong way if you get too close to it, because it has, for 40 points, a 4,902 missile, the Thermit the Frog, the P-15 radar guided again, ×2. All of these vehicles are radar guided. The rubs you the wrong way has pretty good fuel economy too, though it has poor stealth. High road, very mobile unit, so if you get this into place, you could actually flank enemy ships with this weapon very good as well. Since ships take a while to turn around and get moving, you could actually fire from one side and flank them with multiple missiles. So this thing's very cool. It should actually have some stealth to it, I'd say, because it just looks so well maintained and it looks well covered. This, by the way, was made in 1973, as where the BAL was 94. I believe there was a vehicle we saw earlier that was made in the 60s. Or no, that doesn't seem right. Let's just go back just a peek. 88 for the Bear, 92 and 88 it seems for the Sea Buster, or the Strom Buster. Let's go ahead and move on then to the next unit. Oh wow, wait a minute, hold on. 160 AP on these. Those are some things that are more important than just looking at the accuracy and such. One hit with something like the BAL at 85% causes 80 AP damage, but this causes of 160. That's double, with less than half the accuracy though. But again, this is a close range. If some sort of a Lafayette gets close range, or a Congo, this is going to be something that could finish off or help start the attack on one of these. By the way, it does have a recreation room on it again. That's very nice of the Soviets. All right, so there you go. The rubs you the wrong way. All right, coming up next is the Reddit, or the Reddit, reddit.com. We'll fire one troll missile. It is the P-270 musket. I've seen pictures of this missile, by the way. It's basically a giant cruise missile. It is impressive. One missile, 75% accuracy, 200 AP. This seems like what people may go with the most. It seems to balance the range, accuracy, and AP power all together. And that's very impressive. 1963, this is the earliest weapon. Wow, I knew I saw something from the 60s. 1963, and this thing fires a weapon that is 75% good accuracy, amazing AP, great HE. Reload time is all 20 seconds, so there you go. And get ready for the icon of that, too. It looks like a diamond with north, south, east, and west lines crossing. So there you go. So, wow, we have yet to see these weapons in action, or at least I do. Again, we're just kind of going over these, so keep in mind these stats are subject to change and go play around with them. Again, you know, you have low accuracy for affordability. For 20 more points, you can get the Reddit, which fires one very accurate missile. You have the Rubs You the Wrong Way, the Bala, and of course, then we'll hop back to NATO and check out the Bearjet, the Dota 2, and of course, the Stromby. So there you go. That's it for anti-ship missiles. Great range, incredible range now finally for NATO on ground units. But for the Soviets, it seems, or at least for Red 4, they have much more in accuracy. In fact, the Bearjet is 70% accurate, as where the everything but the Rubsia at 40 points is over 75 minimum. So there you go. Again, things are subject to change, so check these out, try these out. Be very careful with them, by the way. Keep them back, you know, until you know that you can lure the enemy into an attack and see what they can do, or just go play the computer. Though I hear that in computer battles, the computer is not calling out naval units, so it might be a little hard to test. So you're just going to have to go get your hands dirty with the new units. So I will be covering most of the new stuff as well. A lot of you are pros now in terms of you've played many a battle, and instead of just going through decks now, we'll just cover a lot of the new stuff and show you how that can change the battle. So stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Thank you so much for the great support, and hats off to Eugen again for listening to the fans and bringing forth all of these new weapons. So here's to the new campaign that's coming soon. Here's to the new weapons that we have now, and we will see you guys next time. Passwords, Pimp Pan Strong, and all that good stuff? Okay, good.